And to other matters, media professionals, academics, and civil society organizations will be attending the first international media conference under the theme Exploring Media Regulations in Africa. The conference will examine the various media regulatory frameworks in Africa, including the strengths and weaknesses of existing laws and policies. It will also explore the impact of these regulations on media freedom, independence, and pluralism. As some countries have made significant strides in promoting media freedom, others continue to impose draconian laws and regulations that stifle freedom of expression and the ability of the media to perform its function as a watchdog in the society. Well, joining me now to discuss some of the complex issues surrounding media regulations in Africa is Matthew Okoduwa. He is the Rector of the Broadcast Arts Institute in Nigeria. Thank you for joining us on the News at 1. So let's start with how you assess, the African media and how well they've played their role as a watchdog, especially at this time where we're seeing rising conflicts in Africa and sort of disruptions to democracy.
Thank you for having me. That is one reason why we felt it was necessary for this conference to be convened. Because the media in Africa have not been able to perform their roles very well because of a complex of rules and regulations that has some powers placed on us, on the media. As a result, we are unable to perform our roles as the watchdog of society. We are unable to perform our roles as the engine of democracy. We are unable to perform our roles of holding power accountable. So the complex issues of regulation in Africa go beyond the newsrooms, go beyond the journalist itself. It go beyond to the man on the street who cannot express himself, because when people want to express themselves, they don't do it through town criers, they do it through the media. And so if you are restricting the media, you're actually restricting members of the public from expressing themselves on the way they are governed. And you find out that one of the indices of underdevelopment, which is disturbing Africa now, is lack of freedom of expression. So Africa is underdeveloped because the opinions that you need to develop, you don't allow you to flourish. In the media. Media is restricted. Everybody's afraid, oh, maybe I'll be this. So many African countries have developed some rules and laws that actually hampers the performance of the media.
I mean, so many persons will question whether, everyone is really free to use the media, especially at this time where everyone has access to the social media. But concerns about the regulation of media in Africa is not a conversation that started today, most especially in Nigeria, where more recently we saw a bill which passed second reading mandating some independent platforms to ensure that they have verifiable presence. But let's talk about balance. How do we balance, regulation and not an attempt to also stifle the media?
Yeah, this is where the media practitioners themselves will have to come in and be part of the system. That's what the conference is all about. We wear the shoes, where it pinches, that's what it says. So if you allow those in power who know that you are going to hold them accountable, who know you are going to open up for members of the public to criticize them, they'll keep making rules and laws that will not favor your practice. So in this conference, they will bring out that the media practitioners, the civil society organizations, the policymakers, everybody will together bring out what we call a joint statement on how we think the media can be regulated. We're not saying don't regulate. Right. You talk about social media. What we are going to look at is social media. Is it a positive force or a negative force? Who should regulate it? And by the way, this conference is not about broadcasting. It's not about print. It's not just about, it's about everything media, the gamut of media.
That has taken me to my final question, which would be how inclusive, this event is going to be. So talk to us about the event, how inclusive it is going to be. Is it really open to, those who just take or make use of the social media itself? Everybody
who knows that he communicates with the public, whether in social media, in mainstream media, is concerned. And the one important thing about it is We have regional reports from the 5 regions of Africa: South Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, of course, West Africa, then North Africa. We have people coming from to come and share opinion on how media is regulated in that environment. You know, so that when we are looking at regulation, not just only in Nigeria, it goes beyond Nigeria. You know, but in Africa, and maybe by extension, other underdeveloped countries that will benefit from us. So it's very inclusive. Everybody is involved. Whoever is.
Talk to us about the date, the time.
Yes, the date is May 28 and 29.
Right.
That's this year.
Okay.
And it's holding at the Lagos Airport Hotel. You know, and registrations have started. We have 3 phases of registration: early bird, which is right now, then the traditional, what do you call it, the standard, then the late registration. Okay.
Right. Thank you for your insight. We hope to be at that event. Well, thank you for talking to us. I've been speaking with Matthew Okoduwa. He is the rector of the Broadcast Arts Institute, talking to us about the first media conference in Africa, expected to focus on major issues concerning the media in Africa. But thank you for talking to us at this time.
Thank you for having me.